Dina Onnested. Nationwide student walkouts against gun violence demanding action on gun control took place Thursday from California to New York and in between. In Southern California, students at Saugus High School rallied, where 5 students were shot and 2 killed in 2019. Students chanted, "Read books, not eulogies." Students walked out of their classes in dozens of states, including Wisconsin, Michigan, Missouri, North Carolina. In Rhode Island, students staged a die-in. And in Illinois, students spoke out at the Oak Park River Forest High School.
It was never about the children or mental health. It's about money and it's about entitlement. And until our country learns to put lives over property, the cycle will continue.
2 of the nation's largest teachers' unions plans to protest at the National Rifle Association's annual conference that begins today in Houston, Texas. Former President Donald Trump will be a speaker. The Secret Service is not allowing firearms during his speech. Texas Governor Greg Abbott will deliver a recorded message and hold a press conference in Uvalde, Texas, where gunmen killed 19 children and 2 teachers this week. Conflicting accounts are coming out of Uvalde, Texas, where authorities now say the 18-year-old who massacred 21 people at the elementary school was in the building for over an hour before he was killed by law enforcement. The Texas Department of Public Safety's Regional Director Victor Escalon said Salvador Ramos fired bullets at a funeral home across the street before entering the school. He said 4 minutes later, Uvalde City and School District Police responded and were fired on by Ramos. They took cover and called for additional help.
There was numerous officers at that classroom, numerous. Once we interview all those officers, what they were thinking, what they did, why they did it, the video, the residual interviews, we'll have a better idea. Could anybody have gotten there sooner? The
amount of time that lapsed has stirred anger and questions among family members who demanded to know why authorities did not storm the classroom and put a stop to the rampage more quickly. Video shows desperate parents pleading with the police to take action or get out of the way so they could charge into the building to save their children. Senate Democrats are calling for gun control legislation that be brought to the floor for a vote. Here's Senator Richard Blumenthal of Connecticut, the state that had the deadliest elementary school shooting at the Sandy Hook Elementary School.
I want to say a word to the gun lobby. Your days are numbered. You are on the wrong side of history.
They're calling for passage of so-called red flag laws and tougher background checks. Meanwhile, the Education Secretary, Miguel Cardona, added his voice to the calls for gun control. Mary Sherman reports.
We as a country are becoming desensitized to the murder of children.
2 days after a gunman stormed a Texas elementary school, killing 19 children and 2 teachers, Education Secretary Miguel Cardona said the time for thoughts and prayers is over. At a House hearing on the department's budget and priorities, Cardona emphasized students, teachers, and school leaders are scared.
We've held staff trainings, active shooter drills. We've numbered our windows for easier access for law enforcement. We've improved online early detection screening tools, and we've secured our entrances and perimeters. That is no match for what we're up against.
I'm Mary Sherman for Pacifica Network and Public News Service.
Senate Republicans blocked a vote on a domestic terrorism bill yesterday. The Domestic Terrorism Prevention Act was brought up in the wake of the racially motivated mass shooting in Buffalo, New York, 2 weeks ago. Christopher Martinez reports.
The bill had already passed out of the House, and Senate Leader Chuck Schumer of New York brought it to the Senate in the wake of the racially motivated mass shooting in Buffalo, New York.
We need to call it what it is, domestic terrorism. It was terrorism that fed off the poison of conspiracy theories like white replacement theory. This bill will give the government the tools to monitor, find, and arrest these evil actors before they have a chance to inflict violence on their communities.
Republicans were not receptive, like Senate Republican leader Mitch McConnell of Kentucky, who has said little about gun legislation since the recent mass shootings. He talked about inflation.
Anyone wanting to grill a bacon cheeseburger over Memorial Day weekend will find ground beef up 15% and bacon up 18% compared to only 1 year ago.
Republican Rand Paul also of Kentucky, was upset about a section of the bill that would create a task force to investigate white supremacist and neo-Nazi infiltration in the military and police. The motion died on a party line vote of 47 to 47. Reporting for Pacifica Radio News KPFA, I'm Christopher Martinez.
Ukraine's top prosecutor Erna Venediktova says Russia's major general of the police, Oleg Yakovlev's, is suspected of organizing looting at the Chernobyl nuclear power plant, where about $1 million in property has disappeared and a laboratory was destroyed, making it impossible to control the nuclear waste there. She made the announcement on social media. The Chernobyl nuclear power plant has been a site of concern since Russia's invasion. International groups have sought access to the plant to keep it maintained and prevent a meltdown as Russia continues its war against the country. A state appeals court has ruled former President Donald Trump must answer questions under oath in New York State civil investigation into his business practices. A 4-judge panel in the appellate division of the state trial court upheld Judge Arthur Engeron's ruling enforcing subpoenas for Trump and his 2 eldest children to give deposition testimony in Attorney General Letitia James's probe. Trump had appealed, seeking to overturn the ruling. I'm Christina Onnested, reporting for Pacifica Radio.